What is biology?
Biology is the scientific study of life and living organisms, encompassing their structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, and distribution.
What are the 7 characteristics of life?
The 7 characteristics are organization, cells, metabolism, homeostasis, growth, reproduction, response to stimuli, and adaptation through evolution.
What are the levels of biological organization from simplest to most complex?
The levels are atoms, molecules, organelles, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organisms, populations, communities, ecosystems, and biosphere.
What is a cell?
A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms, often called the building block of life.
What is the cell theory?
The cell theory states that all living things are composed of cells. Cells are the basic unit of life, and all cells come from pre-existing cells.
What is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells?
Prokaryotic cells lack a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, e.g., bacteria, while eukaryotic cells have a nucleus and organelles, e.g., plants, animals.
What is the function of the cell membrane?
The cell membrane, or plasma membrane, regulates what enters and exits the cell, maintains homeostasis, and facilitates communication using a phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins.
What is the cytoplasm?
Cytoplasm is the gel-like substance inside the cell membrane but outside organelles, where many cellular processes occur and organelles are suspended.
What is the role of the nucleus?
The nucleus houses the cell's DNA, controls cellular activities like growth and reproduction, and is the site of RNA synthesis.
What is the function of mitochondria?
Mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell, producing ATP through cellular respiration by breaking down glucose.
What are ribosomes?
Ribosomes are small structures that synthesize proteins by translating mRNA into polypeptide chains. They can be free in cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum.
What is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER?
The RER is studded with ribosomes and modifies proteins destined for secretion or membranes, folding and adding carbohydrates.
What does the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, SR, do?
The SER synthesizes lipids, detoxifies drugs and poisons, and stores calcium ions in muscle cells.
What is the Golgi apparatus?
The Golgi apparatus modifies, sorts, and packages proteins and lipids into vesicles for secretion or use within the cell.
What are lysosomes?
Lysosomes are membrane-bound sacs containing hydrolytic enzymes that break down waste materials, cellular debris, and pathogens through digestion.
What is the main function of vacuoles?
Vacuoles store water, nutrients, and waste. In plants, the central vacuole maintains turgor pressure and cell rigidity.
What are chloroplasts?
Chloroplasts are organelles in plant cells that perform photosynthesis, converting light energy into chemical energy stored in glucose using chlorophyll.
What are the 4 main types of biological macromolecules?
The 4 are carbohydrates, energy/storage, lipids, energy storage/insulation, proteins, structure/enzymes, and nucleic acids, genetic information.
Why is water essential to life?
Water is a universal solvent, aids in transport, regulates temperature, participates in hydrolysis reactions, and maintains cell shape via cohesion and adhesion.
What are enzymes?
Enzymes are biological catalysts, mostly proteins, that speed up chemical reactions by lowering activation energy without being consumed.
What is pH and its importance in biology?
pH measures hydrogen ion concentration, 0 to 14 scale. Most biological processes require neutral pH around 7, as enzymes denature outside optimal ranges.
What is photosynthesis?
Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, algae, and some bacteria convert light energy into chemical energy, producing glucose and oxygen from carbon dioxide and water.
What is the overall equation for photosynthesis?
6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy C6H12O6 plus 6O2.
What occurs in the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis?
Light-dependent reactions capture sunlight in thylakoids, splitting water to produce ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. These energy carriers go to the Calvin cycle.
What is the Calvin cycle?
The Calvin cycle, or light-independent reactions, uses ATP and NADPH to fix CO2 into glucose in the stroma of chloroplasts.
What is cellular respiration?
Cellular respiration is the process cells use to break down glucose into ATP, releasing energy for cellular work, primarily in mitochondria.
What is glycolysis?
Glycolysis is the first stage of cellular respiration, occurring in cytoplasm, where glucose splits into two pyruvate molecules, producing 2 ATP and 2 NADH.
What is the Krebs cycle, citric acid cycle?
The Krebs cycle oxidizes acetyl-CoA from pyruvate in the mitochondrial matrix, producing CO2, ATP, NADH, and FADH2.
What is the electron transport chain?
The electron transport chain in the inner mitochondrial membrane uses electrons from NADH/FADH2 to pump protons, creating a gradient for ATP synthase to produce ATP via oxidative phosphorylation.
What is the overall equation for cellular respiration?
C6H12O6 plus 6O2 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus ADP.
What is mitosis?
Mitosis is cell division producing two identical diploid daughter cells for growth, repair, and asexual reproduction. It includes prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase.
What are the stages of mitosis in order?
Stages are prophase, chromosomes condense, metaphase, line up at equator, anaphase, sister chromatids separate, telophase, nuclei reform, followed by cytokinesis.
What is meiosis?
Meiosis is cell division producing four non-identical haploid gametes for sexual reproduction, involving two divisions and genetic recombination.
How does meiosis differ from mitosis?
Mitosis produces two diploid identical cells. Meiosis produces four haploid genetically diverse cells with crossing over and independent assortment.
What is DNA?
DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is a double helix molecule storing genetic information in nucleotides A, T, C, G, as the hereditary material in nearly all organisms.
What is the structure of a DNA nucleotide?
A nucleotide consists of a deoxyribose sugar, phosphate group, and nitrogenous base, adenine, thymine, cytosine, or guanine.
What is the complementary base pairing in DNA?
Adenine, A, pairs with thymine, T, via 2 hydrogen bonds, cytosine, C, pairs with guanine, G, via 3 hydrogen bonds.
What is RNA?
RNA, ribonucleic acid, is a single-stranded nucleic acid with uracil, U, instead of thymine. Types include mRNA, tRNA, rRNA for protein synthesis.
What is transcription?
Transcription copies a DNA gene into mRNA in the nucleus. RNA polymerase binds promoter, reads template strand, producing complementary mRNA.
What is translation?
Translation synthesizes proteins at ribosomes. tRNA brings amino acids matching mRNA codons via anticodons, forming polypeptide chains.
What is a gene?
A gene is a segment of DNA that codes for a specific protein or RNA molecule, determining traits.
What is a mutation?
A mutation is a change in DNA sequence. Types include point mutations, insertions, deletions, causing variations or diseases like sickle cell anemia.
What are Mendel's laws of inheritance?
Law of segregation, alleles separate during gamete formation. Law of independent assortment, genes for different traits assort independently.
What is a Punnett square?
A Punnett square predicts offspring genotypes from parental gametes, e.g., for monohybrid cross, shows ratios like 3:1 phenotypic.
What determines human blood types?
Blood types A, B, AB, O are determined by ABO gene alleles on antigens, Rh factor adds plus or based on another gene.
Who is Charles Darwin and his key idea?
Charles Darwin proposed natural selection on the origin of species. Organisms with favorable traits survive and reproduce more.
What is natural selection?
Natural selection is the differential survival/reproduction of individuals due to heritable variations best suited to environment, driving evolution.
What are the 5 kingdoms of life?
Kingdoms are Monera, bacteria, Protista, protists, fungi, plantae, plants, Animalia, animals.
What are viruses?
Viruses are non-living infectious agents with genetic material in protein coat. They replicate only inside host cells, lacking metabolism.
What is biodiversity?
Biodiversity is the variety of life at genetic, species, and ecosystem levels, essential for ecosystem stability and human well-being.
What is an ecosystem?
An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with non-living components, abiotic factors, like climate and soil in a specific area.
What is a food chain?
A food chain shows energy transfer from producers, plants, to consumers, herbivores, carnivores, to decomposers, linearly.
What is a food web?
A food web is interconnected food chains in an ecosystem, showing complex feeding relationships and greater realism.